At this time, I call to order the special call meeting of the Board of Mayor and Selectmen of the City of McComb City, Mississippi, Wednesday, December the 26th, 2018 at 5:30 p.m. Selectman Tullis will bring us the prayer for tonight.
Let us pray. Lord God, we thank you for this day.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you for all the blessings you've given us. Father God, thank you for sending your Son to give his life that we might be saved from our sins. Father God, please watch over all the officers that are putting their life on the line for us every day, as well as the firemen, as well as public works that deals with heavy equipment and inclement weather. Please watch over them. Father God, our military all over the world, please keep them safe and watch over them. Lord, we thank you. And all those people who are traveling in this season, please keep them safe and watch over them. Father, we ask these things in your name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Do want to let you know that Selectman Hill is to be calling in. Also, our city attorney could not be with us, but she's calling in also today. So who do I have on the phone?
Hi, Mayor. I'm on the phone. This is Angela Cockerham.
Okay, we have our attorney. Selectman Hill will be calling in. Has anybody heard from Selectman Johnson? Have not, but we're going to move on. I'm going to ask that we get a motion and a second to receive the consent docket except for letter A, number 2, letter A.
So moved.
It was motioned by Selectman Brock, second by Selectman Williams. Discussion. Just want you to know that the city clerk and I, as we were going through the minutes for December the 11th, caught a couple of mistakes, and we decided we'd just pull it and bring it back for our January 4th meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers nay. Hearing none, so be it. I'm looking for Mr. Benton Thompson. He's not here. That's the transportation program. I asked the city clerk, not the city clerk, the city administrators to contact him and have him to come and give us an update on how the bus system was working here within the city of McComb. I'm going to ask that we would move executive session to the end. So going to number 5, consider adopting a resolution appointing Brandon Cole, engineer in the Fire Division of the Department of Public Safety, in a probation status effective December 28, 2018. Can I get a motion in a second?
So moved. Second.
It's motion by Selectman Tullis, second by Selectman Brock. Any discussion? I think we have them here. Where's my chief? Okay, chief.
I'm a captain.
Captain.
Chief is sick.
Chief is sick.
Yes,
Nobody
sir.
told me he was sick. Okay. Captain, would you come forward and bring Mr. Cole with you?
Here.
We're going to start there.
Yes, sir.
What is it that you want to tell us about Mr. Cole?
I personally was a part of training all 4 of these guys. They're good men, and we set a standard for them, and they passed that to our expectation, and I think they'll do good as engineers.
Okay. Taisha is not here. Ron, you'll take pictures?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, Ron. Okay, would you please come around?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, we're gonna get it. Come on around.
All right. They want the crest behind you.
All in favor of promotion of Brandon Cole to engineer, say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Let us take a picture. Wait,
Yeah.
move on around a little bit.
There you go.
There we go.
Very good. On 3, guys. 1, 2, 3. And one more. 1, 2, 3. Very good.
Okay. Thank you. Congratulations. Stay right there, 'cause we got quite a few tonight. Okay, number 6, they consider adopting a resolution appointing Jesse Honey, engineer in the Fire Division of the Department of Public Safety in a probation status, effective December 28, 2018. Okay, Jesse, come on up. All right, and you trained him also?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did he do a good job, Mr. Jesse?
He did, he
Oh,
did.
okay.
I learned a lot with the on fire truck.
Okay. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Selectman Tolan, Selectman Cameron. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers nay. Let's come on around so you can get your picture.
Slide over a little bit. There you go. Very good. On 3, guys. 1, 2, 3. And again, 1, 2, 3. Very good.
Okay. Congratulations, guys. Okay. Number 7, consider adopting a resolution appointing Joshua Lawson, engineer, in the Fire Division of the Department of Public Safety in a probation status effective December 28, 2018. I see he's already walked up. How about that? I'm going to ask you the same question, Mr. Joshua. Did he do a good job?
Yes, sir. He got me ready.
He got you ready.
Sir.
Okay. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Selectman Tolan,
Second.
Selectman Cameron. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers nay. Hearing none. So be it. Let's get your picture.
Good. On 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Very good.
Okay, number 8, consider adopting a resolution appointing Trenton Boggs, engineer in the Fire Division of the Department of Public Safety, in a probationary status effective December 28, 2018. Oh, look at him.
Yes, sir.
Look, he's already standing at attention. How about that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, same question. Did he do a good job?
I got a better answer for you, sir.
Go ahead, give it to me.
I've had the honor to not only be trained by this man, but my first live save was with him, removing a lady from Summit in a burning building. It was with him, so I have great honor.
Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved. Second.
Cameron, Selectman Cameron, Selectman Brock. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers nay. Hearing none. It's your picture time.
No, sir. Isn't that fine print in that contract? Very good. Slide over a little bit there. There you go. Perfect.
Might cover it up now.
That's all right. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Very good.
Okay, Selectman Johnson has made it. Make the notation of that. Number 9. And it's going to be an amendment to this, so please listen. Consider approving the release of 6 water account certificates from the city of McComb lying within the city limits of the town of Summit. 5 located at 1098 Highway 51 and Highway 98, and 1 located at 1096 Highway 51 and Highway 98, only if accounts are paid in full, and further authorize the mayor to sign all necessary documents. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
That was Selectman Cameron
Second.
and Selectman Tolan. And let me explain to you why that addition was added there. the attorney talked to me in reference to this, and she said to me, she said, I don't have any problems with that, but we want to make sure we get all our money before we turn it over to the city of Sumter. So that's why that amendment or addition was added to that motion. Okay? All in favor say aye. Opposers nay. Hearing none. Moving right on. Consider approving Able Building Company Incorporation, 6082 Holmesville Road, Magnolia, Mississippi, 39652, to construct the next 2 bathrooms that will be built at the multipurpose field at the sports park and at Edgewood Park at a cost of $23,500 each, for a total cost of $47,000. Can I get a motion and a second? Selectman Williams, Selectman Torres, discussion. Let me simply say that I did go out today to the Beartown Park. That bathroom is about 80% complete. Did have a chance to talk to Mr. Mark. He was there himself working this morning. I think it's going to be a big plus for the Beartown Park there. You know, I think we're moving in the right direction as far as our parks and providing bathroom accessibility for our citizens or for those who come to play and do things in our parks. Any other comment? Selectman Brown.
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to make a motion to table this item until the next work session.
Second. There's a motion to table by Selectman Brock, and second by Selectman Johnson. Discussion. Selectman Brock.
Yes. Mayor, I got an email from Mr. Cotton that was sent to me. Also, I'm not sure if Mr. Ron has this email. And it says, Mr. Kessler, this is Teddy Cotton at Cotton Construction, reviewing the last board meeting session on 12/18. It was stated that all the bidders on the first restroom, total of 4 bidders, had an opportunity to bid on the next set. I did not have the opportunity to give a notice to bid on the next set of restrooms that is being presented to the board on 12/26/18. Please advise me with the status. Thank you in advance for your assistance. Mr. Kessler has advised me that he do not have the email.
I do not have an email from Mr. Cotton.
That being said, I'd like to still take this on to the work session to find out.
Ron,
Sir,
did you contact Mr. Cotton?
Mr. Cotton was never contacted originally. Mr. Tom Ellis was contacted, and through Mr. Tom Ellis, Mr. Cotton submitted a bid. In this process, when the city administrator asked me to reach out to the people we reached out to, I reached out to Southern Construction, Able Construction, and Mr. Tom Ellis to please ask for bids. Those were the ones that were contacted originally.
Okay, and you're saying, if I'm hearing you correct, Mr. Cotton was informed by Mr. Ellis.
Correct.
And you did get a quote from him, or did not?
Yes.
You did get a quote from Cotton?
Yes, Mr. Cotton did come by and drop off a quote.
Although, do you have that quote?
I don't have that information with me, no, sir.
He dropped a quote off, Mr. Kessler, for the second set.
He dropped the quote off for the first set, the first time we did this.
Okay, and not the second set.
Correct.
Just asking for some time to, I'm sorry, interrupt somebody.
Mr. Johnson.
Is there a reason why he didn't get a quote for the second set?
I didn't have a point of contact through him, so I reached out to Mr. Ellis who I
Uh-huh.
believe is how Mr. Cotton was notified of the project. And we just assumed the disparity in the quotes was the reason why we only got what we got back.
So my question to you is, for the next two set of restrooms that we're about to start constructing, are they the same price as the ones was for the,
Beartown.
okay.
Yes, sir.
So he's just submitted just another bid, and he came up to be the lowest?
Yes, sir. The language that Selectman Cameron brought out, pointed out that the man from Able Construction's language said, we will construct 6 bathrooms for the total of $23,500.
Okay.
It should have said 6 bathrooms apiece, and it was not. So the city administrator called me to his office and asked me to reach back out to the gentleman that we reached out to originally. And that's where we made the phone calls, I made the phone calls, and asked for other quotes to be submitted, and we got just the 2 back. The quotes that you are prepared to accept, or is on the docket to accept, is the exact same price that is being billed, nearly 80%, as the mayor mentioned, at Beartown.
Okay.
Okay, and we have to also understand that because it's under $50,000, all you legally have to have is 2 quotes. But it's left up to the board what you do.
I don't have those quotes, Mayor, but I know the amounts, if that makes any difference.
What were the amounts?
$23,500 was the low quote that was accepted.
Okay.
The second quote was $27,000, and the other 2 quotes were $40,000 and $41,000.
Do you know I'm sorry, I interrupted. Do you know off the top of your head what was Mr. Cotton's quote?
Mr. Cotton did not
Either
quote
40 or
on these
41. The original quote, he was either the 40 or 41. Him and Tom Ellis were those 2.
I got you.
Not sure which one respectively.
I'm looking at 2 quotes here, being Southern Image Construction and Mr. Able
Correct.
Construction. And by state law, all we are required to have is 2 quotes. That's all. But that's state law. It's left up to you all, as a board, what you would want to do. If you want a table, it's been motioned, it's been seconded. If you want a table, are we ready to vote? Yes, sir.
You're saying that we got two quotes, the one we're accepting for 23,500, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then we had another one for 28, and then the other 2 were in the 40s.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Again, are we ready to vote on?
One other question.
Go ahead.
Mr. Kessler,
Yes, sir.
why did we send out for another bid?
I was instructed by the city administrator because of the uncertainty or unclarity of the gentleman's quote where it said 6 facilities being built at $23,500. Mr. Cameron brought that up, and city administrator the next day called me to his office and asked if we could go the route of getting additional quotes, and we would go 2 at a time instead of the full 6 because of the reason the mayor mentioned about the $50,000.
So to the best of your knowledge, the first 4 bidders did not get all the information on the second bid.
I only received 2 quotes back the second time around. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And understand, it's not a bid. If it was over 50,000, we would have to bid it out. But because it's below 50,000, all you are required by law is to receive 2 quotes. And you do have 2 quotes, but that's left up to the board. Yes, sir.
Is the attorney on the phone?
Yes, she is.
So, are we in our legal, right to move on this, or should we wait to get because if this guy is saying that he really given the opportunity to bid.
It's not a bid.
Or to put his proposal in, are we putting ourselves in any legal jeopardy?
Did you hear the question, Angela?
I'm I'm sorry, Mayor, can you hear me?
Did you hear the question?
I did, can you hear me?
Yes?
Okay, Selectman Johnson, your question was, is the board putting itself in any legal jeopardy?
Correct.
Okay, so what the law requires is that you have 2 quotes, and this is my understanding in listening to the question and answers posed by the board and the answers received, is that you do have 2, that the total cost for this is going to be less than 50, so all you need are 2 quotes. However, if the board chooses to, redo it, it's completely within the board's purview, but right now you do have 2 quotes, is my understanding.
Okay. Yes, sir.
23.5 is the lowest.
23.5 is the lowest from these 2 quotes. One would be 47 for 2, and the other one is 57 for 2. Say what? Page 17, 18 in your package. You will see the 2 quotes.
And just to be correct, we said Mr. Cotton didn't, we don't have his bid. We don't have what he's,
He did not bid on the second go-around, he only bid on the first go-round.
He only submitted quotes, not bids.
Excuse me for the language, yes. He only submitted a quote the first time, and his quote was at 40 or 41,000.
so
And that was for one.
right. So Ms. Brock asking that he have a chance to.
Yeah, I'm asking the board to table it to the next work session so we can, I don't think it's fair for us to be debating on the quotes or the bids on the first set versus the second, since he had no knowledge of who submitting.
Well, you don't have to ask for Mr. Cotton to give a quote.
We understand that. I'm just saying out of courtesy, since the gentleman reached out to us and said that he didn't have an opportunity. If the board sees not an opportunity, let's move on.
Well, I think what you're gonna do, you're gonna start dictating to department heads who they get quotes from and how many quotes you got to get. It only requires 2, so if they only want to contact 2 vendors, that's within that department's right. The law says all you need is 2, and whether you have 4 or 5 is not necessary. All you need is 2, and they did reach out and got 2, so they have followed the law. Now, if you want to change it and have him to contact all of them, it's left up to the board, but they have followed the law.
Yeah, again, I'm not questioning them following the law. It's a matter of courtesy. If we don't have to, we all understand that we don't have to have but 2. It does not have to go out. This was brought to me through an email, and I'm bringing it to the board, and so we don't,
Again, it's left up to the board. Yes, sir.
I guess the only concern that I have would be that, how does our bidding and our quoting process work? That the lowest person who submits the quote, that's who gets it. Well, now that this has been made available to the public, and Mr. Cotton, if he wanted to, could go and submit a lower quote if we go back out, because we know this was the lower one. And I don't know if that's going to mess up the process. It should be an equal and fair. That's my only concern.
Understand, if we're going to do this, then you're going to be tying department heads up when they decide they're going to get 2 people. This person contact us and say, oh, well, I didn't have a chance to get a quote in. They're following the law as long as they get 2. And I understand Mr. Cotton, but if he didn't want to reach out to Mr. Cotton, that is within his right not to reach out to Mr. Cotton, because all he's required to do is have 2. That's all I'm saying. Yes, sir.
And, history, I think, will say that, when he quoted the first ones at over 40,000 and we're under 25,000, if he was to come meet the current quote, I would question that tremendously, but I'm good with, we got a good, if the ones are looking good now, let's move on.
Okay, so are we ready to vote on the question to table? All in favor say aye. Opposers nay. There are 4 nays, 1 aye. The table has been, now we're back to the original motion. All in favor of awarding Mr. Abel, not Mr. Abel, awarding Abel contract, say aye.
Aye.
Opposers nay. 1 nay, 4 to 1. Okay. Consider ratifying the mayor's signature for the memorandum of understanding between the city of McComb and the Department of Finance and Administration for the purpose of establishing the agreed upon condition under which the DFA may disperse funds to assist the city of Macomb in paying the costs associated with the construction, furnishing, and equipment of a recreation center and related facilities, specified in Section 29 of House Bill 1729, 2016 regular session of the legislature. The MOU is entered into pursuant to and subject to terms of the Act, which authorize an amount not to exceed $100,000 for the project. Can I get a motion and a second? Johnson. Williams. Any discussion? Need for you to turn to page, I think it's page 27 in your document. There on page 27, it spells out how the $100,000 is to be spent. And this is what we submitted as a board. $75,000 is to be spent on rubberized surface in Central Park, and $25,000 is supposed to be spent for water fountains in the 6th Park. Yes, sir.
Did this board submit this?
Yes, sir.
When was this submitted?
If you go back and look in the document where I signed, you'll see the date that it was submitted.
What date?
Was this the $100,000 that was
Yeah.
in front?
It was submitted December the 18th. Wait.
July 24th,
Could you finish your question? I don't remember the board instructing where this money was going. I thought that we were submitting a proposal to get it back, but I didn't think we outlined, or I'm just forgetting.
July the 26th, 2018. Page number 24. 25. The resolution itself.
Yeah, the resolution doesn't state where we were gonna use this money at.
All this went together. This was all approved by the board.
When did you vote on that?
No,
No.
we had a discussion.
July the 27th,
We had
2018.
we had a discussion about resubmitting for these funds, but we never did say where we were spending this money at.
It said it wasn't changed.
Yeah.
Mr. Brown, you remember when y'all set it up and it was too close to the election, did the resubmit it? Remember?
Yeah, I remember us
So
resubmitting.
And when y'all resubmitted, there was no changes to the plan.
But
That wasn't in the.
no, we discussed that here, that we were gonna decide.
No,
No, ma'am. No,
She
ma'am.
said they got approved already, but they wouldn't take it because it was too close to the election. Mr. Cherry Phillips, remember? So y'all just resubmitted what was already put in, you didn't change anything. It had been accepted, but they didn't want to go through it because you guys were too close to the election. Y'all remember the conversation?
I remember the attorney,
When it came back up, it was like, it's already been done, we were holding it until the new board came in.
okay,
It had already
And
been,
they said no plans could be changed because it had already been reviewed by the people at Jackson.
only thing,
this particular board meeting that I'm talking about was the last board meeting of the prior administration. At the time, Ms. Cockerham was filling in for Mr. Dowdy at that board meeting. It was discussed that because a new incoming administration was coming in and the current mayor didn't know the plans that the new board would want to use with that $100,000, that they would resubmit. We came back, when we came in, we had the discussion, but this board never did say where we want to spend that money at.
I understand it was never like that. The way it was that because there was a transition in administration, it had already been approved. They wanted my signature or this board's agreement in order to send the funds. It had already been approved. This had already been approved. Only thing we did was to primarily say that this board was in agreement with what was approved.
I'd like to make a motion to table this until the next work session.
There's a motion to table. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Let me see the hands. 3, 2. All against, tabling 2, 3 to 2. Okay, understand, you're not gonna change the finance administration. They're not,
There's one person talking.
I'm talking, please, I'm talking. You're not gonna change the financial administration, the Department of Finance and Administration. They had already approved this whole plan. The only thing it was, they wanted the new mayor's signature, and that's primarily all we did when we resubmitted for this money. But you can table it, you've tabled it, so we're going to discuss it and call up there, and if they say they can't, they're not going to change it, so be it. Yes, sir.
Mayor, I would just ask that when we vote to table items, we need to start discussion because it's kind of swaying the board.
That's fine. Okay, let's continue to move. Consider ratifying the mayor's signature on permit for Cable One Internet Service Wastewater Plant Agency and further authorizing the mayor to sign all necessary documents.
So moved. Second.
That was Cameron and Brock. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Let's continue. Consider ratifying the mayor's signature with Cable One for Wi-Fi service at the MLK Center. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Johnson.
Second.
Brock. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers? None. Okay, consider ratifying the mayor's signature on a permit submitted by Ceasefire to install underground fiber optic cable along Rawls Drive and Smith Insurance Agency, and further authorize the mayor to sign all necessary documents. Can I get a motion and a second? Johnson, Selectman Johnson, Selectman Tollins. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Okay, 15, consider ratifying the mayor's signature on a resolution for ER-BRF program when funds are available to be used for the Hamilton Street Bridge. Can I get a motion and second? Selectman Johnson, Selectman Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Consider approving payment number 3 for RJ Construction for the Park Lane Road Improvement Project in the amount of $211,323.95. Can I get a motion and second?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Selectman Tolles, second by Selectman Cameron. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Hearing none, consider approving payment number 4 to Greenbrier DSLP for the Northwest Interceptor Upgrade Project in the amount of $353,622.55. Can I get a motion and second?
So moved.
I heard two people, Tolles makes the motion and Johnson second. Any discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Consider approving payment number 2 for the City of McComb HMGP Police Department generator in the amount of $89,775. Can I get a motion and second?
So moved.
Selectman Tolles, Selectman Cameron, second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Hearing none. Number 19, consider approving payment number 3 for the City of Macomb HMGP Police Department generator in the amount of $7,725. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Selectman Tolles.
Second.
Selectman Cameron. Any discussion? Chief is ready to go.
Ready to go, sir.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Consider authorizing Macomb Municipal Elected Democratic Executive Committee and the Pike County Democratic Party to use the South Room, which is the voting precinct area, on January the 12th, 2019 for training of the trainers for elections. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Johnson.
Second.
Williams. Discussion.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I'm reading from the Municipal Election Handbook. City's primary elections are run by municipal party, Democrat or Republican executive committees. Municipal city election commissioners have no authority to conduct primary elections for the parties. The city is not affiliated in the city's primaries. The party is responsible for recruiting, training, and election day operations. The city does run the general and special elections. The Municipal Election Commission recruits, trains, and runs the election day operations. The question of a city-owned building being used to conduct city or county primary training as a city event would not be considered proper use due to the city has no authority of primary election. A city-owned building would be a proper place to train general or special election workers at a city event, so I can't vote for this.
Okay. Selectman Johnson.
Mr. Schultz, is that an AG's opinion or?
This is published by Deborah Hoseman, Secretary of State. It's a municipal election handbook. It's a public record.
Selectman Brown.
What building is this?
MLK. Yes.
And this is to train election workers and things like that?
That's correct.
That handles our elections? Is the attorney on the phone?
She is.
Madam Attorney, do you have a problem with, or you see any legal problems with us allowing the Macomb Municipal Elected Democratic Executive Committee and the Pike County Democratic Party to use the South Room of the MLK Center for training of the trainers for the elections?
Hello, Angela.
I'm here, Mayor. I said I did not, in light of the fact that it would be open for consideration for any other party to utilize the room, but I could not hear Selectman Tullis' statement that he made. If Selectman Tullis could repeat it, Mayor, or if you could summarize it for me, I couldn't hear what Selectman Tullis said.
That's the mayor, maybe you get to it.
Okay, I'm reading.
That's where it comes from.
It comes from the municipal election by our Secretary of State. It says city primary elections are run by the municipal party, Democrat and Republican Executive Committee. The Municipal City Election Commission has no authority to conduct primary elections for the party. The city is not affiliated in city primaries. The party is responsible for recruiting, training, and election day operations. The city runs the general and special elections. Municipal election commissions recruit, train, and run the election day operation. The question of a city-owned building being used to conduct city or county primary training as a city event would not be considered proper use due to the city has no authority of the primary election. The city-owned building would be a proper place to train general or special election workers as a city event.
All right, and read that, the Secretary of State distinguishes it. So in it, and unfortunately I'm not there to look at it, but he said if it's a city election, it's not a proper place to train, but if it's what kind of election?
The question of a city-owned building being used to conduct city or county primary training as a city event would not be considered proper use due to the city has no authority of the primary election.
Mm-hmm.
The city-owned building would be a proper place to train general or special election workers as a city event.
All right, and what is this training for?
They're going to train for, probably train for poll watchers, things like that. Poll watchers, bailers.
It says training of the trainer.
Yeah, training of the trainers.
Oh, it says trainer of trainers.
Right.
Okay, the reason why I asked is because in that it distinguishes between the types of trainings that it could be utilized for. I tell you what, if we could, I do think that there is, under certain circumstances, when this building could be used for training for the municipal Democratic Executive Committee or any other party's executive committee. I see that it's going to be for, it's slated for January the 12th. Perhaps we should, if we could get a motion to table it, because we're going to meet again next week. And clearly, the Secretary of State distinguishes it in those last two lines that you read. And because of the seriousness of our election process, and I know everyone in the room takes it as such, then I would like to look into it a little bit further.
Okay. You need to understand also, Angela, we do not have in the city of McComb election commissions. We do not have.
We do not have election.
No, ma'am, we do not. We do not have municipal election commissions.
No, sir, we do not have election commissions. I completely understand that. But I do want to make sure along the lines of when it talks about the different kinds of elections, general, et cetera, and then it says here that we're going to be the training of trainers for elections, and the only elections that we're going to have coming up are going to be 2019 when we're having our statewide elections. Then in my opinion, clearly that would qualify for a general, because there are no special elections that I can think of that we're going to have, because the only elections that we're going to have coming up are our 2019 elections. So without me assuming, I'll just ask, is that what the trainers are being trained for, the 2019 elections, or is there some other election that's coming up that I'm not aware of for municipal?
I'm thinking they're talking about training people for the general election in 2019.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
And that's what I thought. That's what I thought too. And so, according to what you just read, that would qualify.
Okay.
Because the last sentence says general. It said general and special elections.
Right.
Does it not?
It does. The city-owned buildings would be a proper place to train general or special election workers as a city event. Yes, ma'am.
I thought so. It would qualify.
But nothing in the next
Can't hear you.
But it just general, it doesn't say for the city general election, it just says general and special.
What was the question?
The question was, we were not gonna have a city general election.
And because of that, Mayor, it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't say whether it's city or
County.
any other county, exactly, which is what's gonna be coming up. I mean, unless it's just something that is expedient that the board wants to, take up tonight, because the next board meeting is on the 4th, there is a little bit of uncertainty with respect to the way the sentence is worded as to what it's speaking to with respect to the election. I would say, the way it's worded now, that it does qualify, which is why I had the mayor to read it at least 2 or 3 times, that last sentence. And it does distinguish between the two types of instances where you can and you cannot use municipal buildings. Clearly, the last sentence says that you can.
Okay. Selectman Johnson?
In consideration to what Selectman Tellers read, this says, consider authorizing the McComb Municipal Elected Democratic Executive Committee and the Pike County Democratic Party. So looking at it, I would say they're hosting this together, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So the Municipal Democratic Executive Committee, they have elections 4 years from now. So they're combining together to train workers ahead of elections, so I would say that it qualifies. Because the county is not by itself asking to host this. They're asking to do this as well.
Any other discussion? Go ahead, Selectman Brock.
Could I have a look at the document?
There we go, Selectman Brock.
Has this been revised since 2008?
I wouldn't know, Selectman Brock. Mr. Thomas has a full manual there in front of him.
I'll check the Secretary of State's website.
Give me just a minute.
We would just vote to table.
Is there any discussion?
I'll make a motion to vote to table and let the attorney do her job. Second.
It was motion to table, by Selectman Cameron, second by Selectman Thomas. Discussion? Selectman Brown?
This is part of the discussion. Let me finish reading this.
Okay. Selectman Johnson, did you?
Let's schedule for the 12th. If this does pass the table, will they have enough time to prepare and?
I don't know.
So I'm looking, Mayor, if I may speak, if I can maybe recognize.
You may, attorney.
Okay. Thank you. To your question, Selectman Johnson, the next time that we're meeting is on the 4th. However, the Secretary of State's office should be open tomorrow. So, with respect to if it's tabled, if the board does decide to table it, then there should be enough time for them to prepare.
But based upon that last sentence, you would say that it would be okay? From what I heard from you, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, I'm trying to make sure I heard it correctly.
I would, Mayor, but I am very cautious with any respect of the law, especially when it comes to elections. And having said, you know, just a few years ago on the committee when we revised some of the elections laws, and this did not come up. And so, I do have a familiarity with election laws for the state of Mississippi, but this is one of the items, or one of the issues that did not come up. And I would definitely, with respect to our election process, would definitely want to make certain before I definitely told the board a certain yay or nay. And I do think that we do have enough time, as I said, to you and to the board. The Secretary of State's office would be open tomorrow very early, and I could let you and the board know something, and both commission and the Democratic Executive Committee for the city, I think, would have enough time to prepare.
Okay. Any other questions? Discussion on the motion to table? All in, go ahead.
So, Mayor, this last paragraph here, it says city-owned, building would be a proper place to train general or special election. So we were talking about whether the next election is a general or special election. I'm a little confused here.
That last sentence is what she feels it falls under, but she wants to be definitely sure, on this issue.
Well, we know we're having a general election next year, right?
We know that.
I hope it, I agree with her.
Yeah. Okay, again, are we ready to vote on the table? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay.
Nay.
One nay. Let's continue. Consider adopting a resolution supporting MML Electric Cooperative for high-speed internet in the state of Mississippi. Can I get a motion and second?
So moved. Second.
It was motion by Selectman Toller, second by Selectman Cameron. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Consider approving the amendments to the MLK lease. All cities of McComb sponsored event planning to be held at MLK Community Center will need to be approved by the City Board of Mayor and Selectmen. A full-time staff member from the Recreation Department will be present at the MLK Community Center during all rented events. And number 3, any and all groups wishing to serve alcohol at their events at the MLK Community Center must receive approval by the City of Macomb Board of Mayor and Selectmen on a case-by-case basis. Can I get a motion and second? That was Selectman Cameron.
Second.
Selectman Toller. Discussion. Justice.
The terms that we put in this lease, are we putting them in all of our leases for our buildings, like all City of Macomb sponsored events planned to be held at MLK Community Center will need approval by the board, or is this just going to be for MLK? Because if it's just going to be for MLK, I don't think it's fair whatsoever, because the police department just had a Christmas party over at the sports park. Wasn't that a city-sponsored event?
It was.
The board didn't approve it, did we?
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're being fair across the board.
Selectman Cameron.
Does all City of Macomb sponsored events supersede and disregard and delete all ward and selectmen sponsored events?
We tabled that, we were gonna come back in work session and work with that. But these were the ones that we definitely worked out and agreed upon in our work session. Yes, sir.
I just want to make sure I'm clear. Is this specifically for MLK Community Center?
This is specifically for the MLK lease.
Okay. I don't think that's fair to any other facility that we have. If we're going to use it there, it needs to be at every other facility. Until that happens, I would like to make a motion to table to the next work session.
Motion to table. Need a second?
Second.
Motion to table, Selectman Johnson, Selectman Brock. Discussion?
Yes, I thought in the last meeting, Mr. Thomas said that was what's supposed to happen, that all of the leases that we hold throughout the city is gonna have somebody from the city of McComb on the premises.
For rented buildings held by the recreation department.
Okay, so we can actually rent MLK to who we wanna rent it to.
And my only thing with this first bulletin is that all city-sponsored events planned to be held at the MLK Community Center will need to be approved by the City of McComb Board of Mayor and Selectmen. The police department just did an event over at the sports park, that was city-sponsored, no board approval. I don't think it's fair that we're gonna have this language just for the MLK Center, and it's not gonna be at all of the other facilities that we lease.
I don't disagree with you, but we're dealing with MLK at this time. If you want to deal with the other ones, you can bring that up in another work session. Let's deal with MLK.
I would like to table this until this language is in all the other leases.
You can go ahead and approve this now. You can just come back and address the others at work session.
But if we're gonna put this in place tonight at the MLK Center and then the other ones don't have that language, I'm just against that.
We have a motion and second, any other discussion to table? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, Johnson, Hand, Williams, and Brock says aye. Brock, you had your hand up?
Yes.
Okay. And all who oppose say nay?
Nay.
Okay. Table. Okay, I saw, Mr. Thompson come in. Mr. Thompson, coming back up to you to come give us an update and talk to us about the transportation system.
Good evening.
Good evening.
For the tardiness, I was expecting you to start at 6 o'clock. To bring you up to speed as to where we are with the community transportation, for the month of November, the community transportation completed 264 trips. As of today, for the month of December, we completed 316 trips. We made some changes on the pickup and drop-off locations. We eliminated some, we added some, and we have some new locations that I want to pass out. Let me pass out a copy of this to you. Second copy is locations that we would like to add. The 6 locations, those are new locations that we want to add stop, pickup, and drop-off locations at. We've had some problems. Some of the problems that we've had is we're operating Monday, Wednesday, and Friday still. A number of people demanding that we provide service 5 days a week. We still on Monday, Wednesday, this week here for Christmas holidays, we went Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and we operated today as well. Friday, we'll go back to our old schedule. We have dispatcher that answers the phone and take the calls from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. After that, before 8 o'clock, no one's answering the phone. After 4 o'clock, no one is answering the phone for those calls. So we've had people call in complaining about no one is there, at which we do have live, bodies there at that time. Some of the other problems we've had is people wanting to know why we can't pick them up at their home, at their door, rather than at the bus stop. So the problem is identifying exactly where the bus stops are at for a number of people. So to answer that, to solve that problem, let me pass these out to you, of course. We have a solution to that problem, and we wanted to bring it to the board and share that and answer questions. This is a proposal that we would like to, that we feel that would benefit, help identify where those stops are at. This is Alex here from Linden Marketing, who has come up with an idea. We sit down and we talk about putting up the benches there at each stop, along with a trash receptacle there, in order for people to put the trash in. And you can see the sign that's already been provided by Public Works and is available, and it's at most of the sites that we already have. To have identified so people can see where those bus stops are at, and the trash receptacle will help keep it clean, because some of the locations, we want to make sure that it's, it's beautiful when the people are there waiting on the bus. So if someone is there waiting and they got a coat or trash or something like that, they have a place to throw the trash into that receptacle. These benches, these trash receptacles, the installation of these benches and the trash receptacle and the platform that it's sitting on is going to cost the city $0 to the city. There will be advertising done on the benches, and that's how that will help cover the cost of, that it will be cost for the marketing and revenue coming from the advertising on the benches, which will go to the marketing company. But it will help to identify the locations more clearly where they are at, so that later on, hopefully, when the city get ready to put the canopies up there, it just make it more beautiful with the benches and the trash receptacles. We've had some problems with some of the businesses not being very cooperative as far as helping us to identify a location where we can put a pickup and drop off location. One being, we had Golden Corral list, we took them off. They had a problem with the pickup and drop off at their location. We've been trying to get Walmart to identify a specific location, like pulling teeth from an elephant. Edgewood Mall, the hospital, Delaware Shopping Center, Kroger's, McComb Market. We're having problems with some of these businesses that are saying that they want people to come and buy at their store, but they have a problem with helping us to identify a pickup and drop off location, not a parking location, because we don't want to stop there, pick up people's 30, 45 seconds to a minute, drop off, and move on to the next, pick up and drop off, and do the same thing and keep rotating to get, new customers back to their businesses. I don't know the solution to that, how we can solve that problem.
Would you name those again for me?
Well,
I got 2 or 3 of
Golden
them.
Corral,
I got them.
first complaint. Walmart, I've met with the manager, I've met with the co-manager. My next move is to try to reach headquarters in Ohio, or Arkansas, I think, and try to maybe get someone involved there that can help come down and identify. They wanted to put a pickup and drop off at the end of the parking lot. I mean, can you imagine someone come out of Walmart with 5 or 6 bags and got to walk a half a mile to get to the bus stop? I mean, part of the problem is being a monopoly. So, I mean, if we had, I don't know, what's another store, Kmart or something like that, would probably motivate Walmart. Some of these other businesses, to help. Because all we're trying to do is just bring people there to their, business to shop and to spend money. That's all we're trying to do. And I've made a number of contacts. Hey, come on, work with me. Let's walk out. Let's walk over the parking lot. Let's find a location that we can set up a pick-up and drop-off location to bring people to your business. We don't want to park here. We're not going to spend the night here. We're not going to camp out. We just want to bring people to your business to shop and spend money.
What were those businesses' names?
Let me just give them.
Kroger's, McComb Market, Delaware Shopping Center, I have yet to find who's primary point of contact. Same with the Medical Art Building. Southwest Hospital, you know, we'll call you back. The Edgewood Mall.
You think you can help them out with reaching out to some of these businesses?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, if they're concerned about increasing revenue, they're concerned about, you know, doing more business. What's the problem with bringing people to the business? I don't understand it. So,
Also, let me also look at the city's right-of-way.
sir,
Also, let us look at cities right-of-way, because it'll be easier if we could put it on our own right-of-way. Yes, sir.
I think our last financial report, we were $75,000 down in sales tax,
$75,000.
which means that if people are trying to get to them and they're not being cooperative, I think if you bring that information to them, I think maybe we can get something happen there.
See what we can help you out on that.
I appreciate it. We do have the phone system squared away now. The 8332 ride number is, we had problems with it working at first, but we have that problem solved now, so that when people do call, we'll be able to get those calls and be able to check our voicemail and return calls, if any. But we would appreciate everyone's support on getting these businesses to cooperate, to identify.
What about the citizens? Are they using?
Yes. The numbers the word is spreading, and we figure by March 1st that we will be up to speed 5 days a week at least.
Okay.
And we will expand our time from, we're looking at from 7 o'clock to 6 o'clock by March 1st. Still have, you know, working on getting drivers that are qualified, you know, that have the appropriate license and have a clean, you know, record and can meet all of the credentializing that I have to, you know, provide. So.
Okay.
Keep up the good work.
So again,
Keep up the good work.
We really appreciate the transportation system here in the city of McComb, and what we can do to help, we will do that.
if you talk to any of the business leaders, owners, managers, et cetera, and they
I'm gonna get busy on that
give them
tomorrow.
my number, tell them to call me directly, because it's getting frustrating trying to talk to them, and you go there and you wait 45 minutes, oh, he's busy, he's gone, and come back tomorrow, call back tomorrow, you know, and hey, all I'm trying to do is bring you business, I'm not asking for anything from them. I don't understand why it's so complicated to make a decision, a simple decision. Plus, what about the signs and the benches and the trash receptacles?
I think they look wonderful. I don't know about anybody else, but the mayor thinks they look wonderful.
That's a picture, that's the way it would look, and like I said, the benches wouldn't be used for advertising. So again,
You need to sign.
do we need a map?
Mr. Rob?
Dr. Thompson,
Yes, sir.
you've used the same approach with all businesses, with the bus stops, and some of them, we talking about spending money. Some have been favorable and some have just been, I guess, just shove you off or not respond to you for some reason or other.
I just use Golden Corral, for example. Don't want to stop where people's going to be hanging around, smoking, hanging around, dropping trash, etc. Coming here to catch the bus and all. So I'm working with Tortilla Soup, which is across the street, who are very open-minded. So it said that I got another meeting with him saying, hey, we'll bring all people you don't want to bring over this, bring them over here. So I'm looking for new places that we can, drop off where people want to go and spend money. And we use the same approach to answer your question. Yes.
and you did say you did not talk to the owner of Golden Corral, but the managers.
I don't know whether this gentleman was the owner or not. He may be the manager. Who's the manager? I talked to a young lady at first, and she was supposed to have talked to the manager, and then I got a call from the manager after the bus came over there saying that I don't like this idea. It's okay, we'll stop coming. I hate to call out names, but
That's okay.
Based on the truth.
I'll talk to the owner.
It's all based on the truth.
say again?
It's all based on truth.
Yes, of course. But the trash receptacle and that's what Alex Company will be providing, those trash receptacle and those benches there. So if you got any question, he can answer that as far as the benches and the trash receptacle, and including the installation of those at no cost to the city of McComb.
You see, where you have this, and I guess this is a picture, that's in the city's right of way, you see. And where the city right of way is, we can work with you. I think this board would be willing to work with you on placing them in the city right of way, because that's the city right of way right there.
Right, yes, sir.
Okay? And CT bus stop, that was provided by our own Public Works Department?
That was provided by Public Works in the city of McComb.
I have to say, our Public Works Department did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody got any other questions for Dr. Thompson? Dr. Thompson?
Is it okay to put the benches and the trash receptacles up? That's
right now, this board, he's asking that in the city right away, can he put the benches and trash receptacles in our right away?
Do we need a motion to do that?
Yes, sir.
I would like to make a motion.
First, we need to amend the agenda.
I'd like to amend the agenda to add one additional item to the agenda.
Second.
It was a motion by Selectman Johnson, second by Selectman Brock, to amend the agenda to include one additional item. Any discussion? Yes, sir.
Who will pick up the trash?
good question.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers nay. Hearing none. Now I need a motion to allow them to place the bench and trash receptacle on the city right away.
I'd like to make a motion to allow community transportation to place the benches and the trash receptacles in the city's right of way.
Second.
It was motioned by Selectman Johnson, second by Selectman Brock, that community transportation would be allowed to put the bench and trash receptacle in on city right of way. Any discussion? Yes.
This happened before and everything was removed. What happened there?
Well,
There were benches and sponsors, sponsors of benches and everything was removed.
I'm not very familiar with that, but I do know we did have them around the city, and something about sponsors and all that, but it fell through. Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers nay. Hearing none. At this time, I need to have a motion to consider going into closed meeting.
So moved.
Second.
It was motioned by Selectman Johnson,